Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gauravaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we all have been chanting this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this talk would be like for the just whenever like we come we get connected with ISKCON, like mostly this is the question that pops up in everyone's mind. Even in my mind, that was the question that popped up when I initially got connected with ISKCON. The two things that differentiates from other temples or other communities with ISKCON is that one is that whenever you go to ISKCON, devotees first ask you to chant this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And the other thing is that the other thing differentiation is that whenever you go to temple, you fold your both hands with Namaste and then offer your obeisance to the Lord. But in ISKCON, you see this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and then raising of the hands. So most of the devotees they get surprised when they see this. So just thought I would talk about this, but the way you are chanting, I think this is you would all be knowing about this. But just for purification, for my purification, I would just like to share with you. So we know that especially in our community, so-called Hindu community, there are so many devatas, Devi and devatas. We have around 33 crores Devis and devatas, and for each of the Devis and devatas, we know we would have minimum of 10 mantras. So imagine how many mantras we have for us. 33,000 crores into 10. It goes into so many crores of mantras, right? So most of the time people become confused with this mantras and they don't chant anything at all because they don't believe in anything. So but we have to know what is the importance of this mantra. So mantra, what do you mean by mantra? Mantra, the name itself actually gives you the definition. Man means in Hindi, what do you mean by man?
Mind.
Yeah. So man means mind. It's there. Tra means deliverance. So mantra means deliverance from the mental concoctions. If you see, the reason for our suffering is actually, we are all actually looking here. We have all come here only because we want ultimate happiness. We want to be blissful in our life. That's what we are actually looking for, right? We want to be happy. We want to be blissful. We all go for work. Morning I have got ready to go to work. Why? Because I think I have to earn money for my family. And by earning money to my family, I think my requirements are fulfilled. But what happens, even after getting so much of money or fulfilling all the requirements, it never ends. It keeps on going. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Lord simply gives a formula to be blissful. What is the formula he gives? In 18th chapter, he talks about this, how to be blissful. He gives this mantra. It's like Mula Stotra. If you can actually follow this, you can be very, very blissful. So in 18th chapter, 54th sloka, Krishna says like this. He says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So Brahma Bhuta. Brahma means the Jivatmas. If you want to be Prasanna, what do you mean by Prasanna? Prasanna. Prasanna se rehna hai. What do you mean by that?
Smiling.
Yeah, smiling. If you want to be smiling, if you want to be always happy, what is that you have to do? Krishna is saying here. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Na sochati. Na means nahi karna hai. Sochati means
don't think.
Don't think. Na sochati na kankshati. Na kankshati. Kanksha. मेरा इतना आकांक्षा है क्या? What do you mean by आकांक्षा?
Excitement.
Expectation.
Yeah, expectations or desires. So he says, if you want to be happy, first thing he says is, don't think. Na sochati, na kankshati. Don't desire. Then he says, sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Sama means?
Equal.
Yeah, equal. Sama sarveshu. Sarveshu means?
All.
Right. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Bhuteshu means the jivatmas, all the atmas, all the souls around you. He says you should actually treat everybody equally. Don't think I am great, he is great, he is superior, he is inferior, he is manager, he is a servant. Don't treat like this. He is my enemy, he is my friend, he is my son, he is my daughter. Don't treat like that. Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. So if you do that, then he says Mad Bhaktim Labbate Param. So Mad Bhaktim here Krishna says. Then you will get the ultimate bhakti. Bhakti means actually it is bhakti means actually the real happiness. When you actually when we are actually in bhakti, that's when we are in our original position. That's when we will get the real bliss. So Mad Bhaktim Labbate Param, he says. You will get the bhakti, not ordinary bhakti, he says. But he says, Mad Bhaktim Labbate Param. What do you mean by Param?
Ultimate.
Yeah, ultimate bhakti you can get. And that's what he says if you want to be blissful. So what does that formula says? Formula says if you want to be blissful, to be happy, equal to na sochiti, don't think. Then plus na kanchati, don't desire. Plus don't treat everybody equally. So this three, if you can do, then you can be ultimately happy. But is it possible for us to do this? Is it possible? Just easy equal. If you want to be happy, A plus B plus C. Don't think, don't desire, don't treat everybody equally. Very simple formula, right? Krishna gives. But even A, B, C, right? Is it possible for us to do? One sloka is enough for us to be happy. Krishna gives this formula.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is such an easy formula we think, but it is such a hard because it is so hard because the root cause of all this na sochati, mind will never stop thinking. Na kanchati, mind will never stop desiring. Then treating everybody equally. Mind is the one which actually doesn't treat everybody equally. It puts so much of concoctions in our mind. So that is why this mantra is given to us. The mantra is nothing but delivering us from the mental concoctions that the mind creates. See, the mind is actually in different concoctions because of the three gunas, the three modes. I will not go into it in detail. So that's why the purpose of the mantra is very, very important. And knowing the purpose of the mantra is very, very important. If we are knowing that we are really progressing in spirituality, then we should, how we can judge is by knowing that our desires for material things are actually reducing. Our things for thinking, too much of thinking is reducing. That's when we know that we are spiritually progressing. Okay, now that we have known about mantra, now there are around 33, I told already we have 330,000 crores of devatas, and each having 10 mantras. So we are having so many crores of mantra in our so-called Hindu community. But now which mantra should I chant? So generally when somebody comes to ISKCON new, they will ask, why only Krishna? Why not this mantra? Why not that mantra? Why not this mantra? So we have to refer to Shastras, what Shastra says about different mantras. So Shastra says, out of all these mantras, there are two main Raja mantras. So one is the Gayatri mantra, and one is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, but why not why are we not chanting Gayatri mantra? So the Shastra again says, if you need to chant Gayatri mantra, then you should actually receive this mantra through the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master. Only when you receive this mantra from the mouth of a bona fide acharya or a spiritual master, then only the essence of that mantra can be delivered to you. Otherwise, like we can see, the Gayatri mantra is so commonly available in today's world. Like just you put in YouTube Gayatri mantra, so many S.P. Balasubramaniam, so-called, so many singers will sing this Gayatri mantra, right? But are they really qualified to sing it? See, in earlier days, in previous yugas, like this, it's not that these mantras are not there in the previous yugas. These mantras were there in all the yugas. There are different stories. Maybe next time I will speak about that. Especially the story of Valmiki, where he chanted the names of Rama and was delivered actually. So it's not that only in this yuga this mantra is being chanted. It is in all the yugas this mantra is chanted. But there is a certain qualification to chant the mantras also. Gayatri mantra cannot be chanted by everybody and so-called all. You have to actually, this mantra was also not actually there for everybody in common. Only today, because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and because of mercy of the devotees, we are able to receive this mantra and we don't know how important this mantra is, but we have been given this mantra. It's like a diamond, even emerald. It's like that. It's so powerful, but we don't know the importance of it. But to chant the Gayatri mantra, to chant any mantra, one should actually come to the position of Sattva Guna. So that's why only Brahmanas were actually chanting various mantras. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because of the Kali Yuga, knowing the what the in the Kali Yuga, like people are so fallen. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here, and then he actually gave us this Hare Krishna mantra. So that is why in Shikshashtakam you see that in the second paragraph of Shikshashtakam, what does that say? The second paragraph of
Nam
Shikshashtakam,
Nam
Chaitanya
Akari
Mahaprabhu. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति
Tatrarpita Niyamita Saranena Kala.
स्मरणे न
Etadrishita
कालः
Kripa.
तत्रापिता
Etadrishita.
स्मरणे न कालः. So you can chant this anywhere, everywhere, at any time. There is no particular time or situation or particular place to chant this holy name of the Lord. So because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we got this mantra. Because he has given in Shikshashtakam that anybody can chant, and anywhere you can chant. So that is why we have got this mantra. Otherwise, we would have not got this mantra without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, and without the mercy of the devotees. We would have not got this mantra. And by chanting this mantra, we are actually trying to come out of the mental concoctions that our mind is playing on us. We are all suffering here. We are not happy because we are not able to follow this simple equation given by Krishna. Not thinking too much. We are always thinking too much. We are always desiring too much. We always differentiate people with different concoctions. If we are able to overcome this, if we are able to overcome this, this is not possible by our endeavors. This is only possible by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of the Guru, by the mercy of the devotees. And for that, we have to chant the so-called Hare Krishna mantra very purely, without just hearing the names of the Lord is very when we are chanting is so potent. So just we have to open our ears properly, and then hear these vibrations properly. So if we can do that, then this will, just like a pill, when we take it, it cures the disease in our body. Similarly, this mantra, this so-called vibrations produced, has the potency to reduce the mental concoctions created by our heart, and then the heart can be purified. That's why in the first verse itself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, purifying the heart, the dust which is covered. Our heart is actually covered with the dust, and that mirror of mind is being cleansed by the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So I'll stop here in the interest of time. It's 6:45. Thank you for very patiently hearing me. Hare Krishna. Hope this can help you in your spiritual progress. Please pray for me also. I am also very fallen. I should also, by your prayers, get taste in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhu, Subhena Prabhu, for giving me this
Thank you,
opportunity.
Thank you, Prabhu. Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki